April 24th, 2025 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here.
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 Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
No.
Number 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of April 17th, 2025.
Motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Bid openings, I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Don't have anything. You have something, Mark, or no? Okay.
I'm just,
Number 7, correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting approval for the agreement for professional services with American Structure Point in the amount of $493,685.34
yes,
for the construction, engineering, and observation of the Holman Avenue Phase 2 reconstruction project, Russell Street to Douglas Street.
so I should have let you finish. Good morning. Anyways, Mr. Button isn't here today. He's with Structure Point representatives receiving an award for Safe Streets for All.
Good for him.
That the mayor initiated, and there
yes.
was a public input and so forth and everything, so asked them what intersections are bad, and Structure Point analyzed it, and they're getting an award for it today. So that's where Dean is,
Good job, Dean. Yes.
Yeah.
and Structure Point, of course.
Okay.
So basically what this is, would be, oh, there it is, I'm sorry. The correspondence, it's a contract for Structure Point in amount, we pay 80/20 of this, so it's about $100,000. It's a federal project, it's gonna be bid out in, I believe, May, Eric? May, and I would recommend approval of this. It's very good. We just had to get it done quickly by the end of April, I believe, Eric. So it had to be signed by the end of April. And it's going to be, the funding is CIB. So that'll be forthcoming.
Thanks, Mark.
So I would recommend.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting approval for the agreement for professional services with United Consulting in the amount of $104,800 for the construction, engineering, and observation of 2024-2-CCMG Columbia Avenue Project, 167th Street to Summer.
So this is the contract for construction engineering. It's long awaited. Everybody knows how bad it is. And so it's going to be done, I would say, we're having a pre-construction meeting actually next Tuesday, so it should start within a couple weeks.
Nice.
So I recommend approval.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank Mark.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, correspondence received from Jeffrey Smith, Port Authority Director, informing that 2 professional fireworks shows have been contracted with the Mad Bomber and will be held on July 3rd, 2025, starting at 10 p.m. for the annual 3rd of July fireworks celebration, and on July 12th, 2023, at 10 p.m. for the Hammond Marina Venetian Day and Night festivities.
Yeah, I assume that's July 12th, 2025.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
It says 23, but it's
Oh,
25. That's right.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 8, matters from board members.
Your
Nothing?
shirt looks rather bodacious on you today.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you. Anything else?
No.
Number 9, new business, letter A, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 2104 Sherman, submitted for approval.
Mr. President, I would request, as long as it's signed by the owner, which I believe it is, that it be approved as presented. If we don't have a status date, if we could set a status date somewhere right around the expiration, which is,
April 3rd, 25 is the expiration.
I think that's incorrect.
July 10th,
Yep, sorry, July 10th.
so just before that?
Yeah, does the top of the document say April 3rd?
Yes.
Can we change that to July 10th, just so that's accurate? Yeah, you could just write it on there. If
Yeah.
you can just change the date on there and initial it,
Yep.
that'd be great. And that way, the document's updated. I don't want that must have just been a typo on the title of the document. Linda, do you know if we have another status set on that? already,
That's where he wants me to change this to.
that it's already set for July 10th?
Shit. It says there is a status set for July 10th, 2025.
Okay, we'll keep that status then.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Okay, motion to approve and set the status for July 10th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 1430 Stanton, submitted for approval.
Also would request that this be approved. I believe the new owner, Mr. Luna, actually came by my office on Monday. I don't know if he's here today. I don't see him, no, but he came by my office. He's really excited to start. This, you may recall, was a property that was owned by Mr. Grabarczyk, and he had come many, many times
Right.
before us and was having some trouble, so he finally sold it to Mr. Luna. Mr. Luna's ready to roll, and I think Mr. Luter has been in touch with him. So he came by my office. He was very excited to have this presented today. He's ready to pay the bond, I think, today and get his permits.
So the expiration date's July 25th. You want to make it the 24th?
Sure.
Okay.
Motion to approve and set for status for July 24th, 2025.
Can we move it to one more week, July 31st? Because I think
31st,
I'm going to be out of town then.
Okay, I'll rescind that motion and approve it and set it for July 31st, 2025.
Thank you.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, right-of-way permits. Looks like there's two of them received from engineering, submitted for approval.
Yes, two from NIPSCO, basically Amy Avenue and Davis to replace the residential gas line going into the house, so I would recommend approval.
Okay.
They're both in the alleyway, so it shouldn't disrupt traffic. They're going to put signs up, but it shouldn't take too long, half a day or so.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, request for rental registration hearing submitted for approval.
Motion to set those dates. I believe there's two dates for May 8th and May 15th.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 10, old business, letter A, status for 7235 through 41 Calumet Avenue.
Great, Jordan's here. So you're aware of this. This is the one with Mr. Peterson.
Yep.
So what we're waiting on, I think, and Jordan can probably report on this, is, looks like he's got some inspection photos. The whole thing was we were just making sure that water was disconnected. And so I'll let Jordan report out on that.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
We did a inspection on 4/14/25 to determine whether or not the water service has been turned off. It is unaware to us that the service has been disconnected from the property. What they did do, and what the photos will show, is that they started removing appliances, stoves, sinks, and none of it was done with licensed contractors, and it was not done to code.
Did you say that you didn't know if the water was turned off or not?
No, we were not able to determine whether or not the water service has been disconnected.
So the service won't be entirely disconnected. What the aim was to make sure that it wasn't connected to the, as if they were residential units. So they were going to still, I think, have water as a commercial space. However, this is the first I've heard that they didn't use contractors and everything to remove anything. So I'd request Jordan to send to the law department or just kind of a report on that so I can forward it to Mr. Peterson.
Understood.
Yeah.
We need a status for it.
Status, please. Yeah, if we could get 3 weeks. And there's nobody in there, right, Jordan?
No, nobody is in the property right now, but the potential use for the property still exists for there to be illegal residential units in a commercial property.
3 weeks is May 15th. Is that okay?
Can we go the 22nd?
Yep.
Okay, motion to set this matter for status for May 22nd, 2025.
Thank you.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to letter B, status for 1047 Moss.
Good morning to the board.
Morning.
This is under a demolition order entered by the board March 13th of '25. Permits, however, have been pulled, and Mr. Ramirez appeared before this body on November 16th of '25. He had Obtained permits in November, the windows have been replaced, electrical was completed, and rough electric had passed. It was moving along smoothly, and we set it for basically a 120-day status. I'm going to show the board some updated photos and report to the board on status.
As you can see, the outside is completely remodeled. The inside is at a point of finishing up with their plumbing, HVAC, and then insulation and drywall. So if we need a new rehab agreement, we should schedule
I
one.
think
If
probably
not-
what we need is a new status date on this. Oh, wait, we have an expiration of the rehab on January 17th of this year, so we will need it amended. And I believe it was with Jose Jesus Ramirez. So I don't,
Yeah, I'm not
is
sure.
Ramirez here today? Oh, he's here. Okay, come on up.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you give us your full name, sir?
Jose Jesus Ramirez?
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez, it looks like you're continuing to work on the property.
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you have a estimated, you can speak in the microphone. Do you have an
Yeah, Mr.
estimated,
Murray, pull that mic down a little bit. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
do you have estimated time of completion? When do you think you'll be done?
Hopefully in 3 months.
3 months, okay. I think I'm fine with giving them the 90 days, so, right? So if we could get a 90-day status,
31st again? Or the
Sure.
24th? 31st?
yes.
Okay.
That's all. We good?
Yep.
Motion to set this matter for status for July 31st, 2025.
I second.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Okay, letter C, status for 6126 Harrison.
Some updated photos for the board. Well, Mr. Luter can give you an update, or let me.
That's good too, huh?
This one's been around a while and through a couple different owners. So we do have a rehab agreement that was, it's really old, and I believe there's been new owners since that time. However, Mr. Luter is going to update as to the new owners and what's going on.
Yeah, I do believe we should have a rehab agreement with the new owners.
Yep.
Yeah, as Kevin stated, this house has been through a couple different owners. I believe the previous owner may have passed in the middle of the rehab. The new owner is out of California. He's a local resident living out from here, now living in California. He bought the house. I met with the contractor on Monday, reviewed everything. As you can see in the pictures, it's down to the studs everywhere. So it's a matter of now plumbing, electrical, HVAC, but they've passed their rough framing inspection.
We've already okayed the new,
Yeah, the new agreement should
Okay,
have been
gotcha. Okay, you want a status for, what, 90 days?
Yeah, you want to do
90
90
days?
days?
Do that
again?
July 31st
7/31?
again?
Yeah.
Motion to set the matter for status for July 31st, 2025.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, status for 1101 Roosevelt.
Yeah, and we got some updated photos.
That one looks nice, too.
If you recall what that house looked like.
Yeah.
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 Yep, real bad. So 1101 Roosevelt, got to get the new file out. 1101 Roosevelt. This is under rehab, obviously. Mr. Castro reported out a while ago on this, although I think is this second or first?
It's a second.
Second, okay. So I believe it's just under rehab, and Mr. Luter will report out on where we're at.
Yeah, this one is going to be about a week or two ahead of the next address. It's the same owner, same contractor working on the property. But this one has had all rough inspections, including electrical, HVAC, plumbing, so they're ready to move on to the next step. I think another 90 days for them as well. That July 31st date should work, if that's fine with Kevin.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Motion to set this matter for status for July 31st, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, moving on to letter E, 1152 Roosevelt.
Updated photos for the board. You can see it's also in the state of rehab. My last notes actually go back to August of last year when we were trying to figure out why, these houses are all kind of around each other. There's like 4 different lots, and they were bought on tax sale by a company called Infinite Batteries. However, I'm not sure if they're still involved.
No, they are no longer
Okay.
the owners. They wholesaled them to another
Okay, so go ahead, Bill,
investment
with the
company.
update.
So like I said, this one is about 2 weeks behind where 1101 is, same contractor. So now those contractors are moving over to do the subs, the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC. I did the rough framing inspection on Tuesday. They're ready to move forward for another 90 days.
Okay.
Motion to set this for status for July 31st, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, letter F, status for 251 Detroit.
One more.
Some updated photos. As you know, this is owner occupied by Ms. De La Paz. She's been in touch with Mr. Luter about painting the outside. She's just waiting for her tax refund. I know it's a slow go, but of course, with a homeowner, we're trying to work with them to, guide them along as we can. I know Mr. Luter's been in touch with her.
Right, yeah, she did email me, it was last week before, right around tax time, and mentioned that as soon as she got her tax return, she planned on getting the exterior painted and asked for another 30 days. So in my reply, I didn't include Kevin, and we agreed to status on 5/22 to see if she's got her tax return and something moving to paint that outside.
So May 22nd
Is
is
that,
when you want
is
to
that
have
good
it?
for you, Kevin?
Yeah, just a real quick question for Mr. Luter. The last time we were here, which was, looks like January 16th, she was here. She had an estimate for her windows there were 24 windows she was going to replace of $2,600 for just the front 4, but she has 24 to do. And the kitchen window had been done, and the floors had been done. And you were going to do an inspection. Have you?
Yeah, I have not been able to
Okay.
get with her to get inside. the
Okay,
property
so
yet, but
hopefully by May
before that
22nd, Mr.
22nd.
Luter will also be able to get an interior inspection or to check
See
on
where
what's
we
going
are
on in the
with that.
kitchen and stuff.
Can we ask for something else too? I mean, we've asked other people to do this. Can she clean up some of that garbage?
Absolutely.
That doesn't require money too much, so,
No.
thank you. So May,
May 22nd?
Motion to set this for status for May 22nd, 2025.
I second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter G, status, stop sign request at Bering and 167th. Yeah, he called me too, so, yeah, he called me. Go ahead, Mark.
So my understanding, it was requested by the church. It used to be there, it was offset stop sign. Dean actually was out there on a Sunday. I was also out there on a different Sunday. We didn't see any problems with how it was functioning. And we would recommend not put in the back. The risk outweigh the benefits with the offset. So that's our recommendation,
Yeah,
to
thanks,
leave it
Mark.
as is.
Yeah, Dean called me on this, so
Oh, okay.
I'm aware of it, so yeah, thank you.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Motion to deny the request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter H, gas station, 6502 Kennedy Avenue.
Morning to the board. Mr. Novak's here as well. Good morning. Assistant City Planner. It looks like our owners are also here. As the board's aware, this is property, also known as Marathon Gas Station, at the southwest corner of 165th and Kennedy, so we're kind of right near Freddie's area, right? Based on Mr. Novak's report, and I'm sure I do want to give the board some updated photos after I show them to the owners.
Excuse me.
Okay. So, as the board's aware, Mr. Novak has sent a report in to the board when the Marathon Gas Station, requested an exemption. One of the biggest issues that occur, there have been some things that have been worked on, for example, like the striping of the parking lot has been completed, the temporary signs and light poles have been removed, the advertising signs on the light and utility poles have been removed, but we still have windows that don't allow the police department or anybody, passerby, to look inside. I know I knew that Lieutenant Godey's also here. Jonathan's here, okay. Okay. Lieutenant Go, do you want to pop up real quick? And sure.
We're not sure what's going on.
Good morning.
Morning.
We've made just several attempts, Sergeant Matanovich, as you know, has made several attempts to make contact with the owner to get the VUSA system installed in there, and just not having much luck finding someone on the property that can arrange to have that installation made. You know, the owner's not present, or the manager's not available, a lot of different reasons why we can't get that system, you know, the installation complete.
There's also some other things like is Tom here? There's also some things like you can see there's graffiti on the pumps. I mean, you know, it seems like an easy fix, but we just want to make sure that the owners understand that compliance is necessary to avoid citation and other action by the board, as well as we'd like them to respond to the police department because of the advantage that both for their employees' safety, their customer safety, and for public safety, including our police officers, to be able to hook into fuses. Tom, you got anything?
Yeah, you know, I mean, they have done a lot of cleaning up, and they did get those signs out of, you know, the normal windows, and, you know, they have done things, but, I mean, just my quick couple things would be, you know, they didn't build a dumpster enclosure, a lot of the other places have. The graffiti on the pumps, they did take care of the graffiti in the alley by painting over on the wall, but there's still graffiti on those 2 pumps from a couple years ago. On the front, there's some windows. I think they might be faux windows because it's required to have some kind of windows on the street-facing side. And it's covered with this, you know, cigarette pricing billboard. That's not in use at all anymore. I mean, I request that we see that taken down. And then the other thing really is ADA. There's really, so you have an ADA ramp that goes to a sidewalk, but then before you get to the door, it's blocked by something. So it's kind of like, you know, you'll see a blue kind of structure, clear the path to the main entrance from the ADA parking space, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
And then I think the other thing was just address numbers and the alley, stuff like that. But they've made progress, there's just some of these things that are still an issue, yeah.
So are one of you the owner?
I am.
You're the
Yes.
owner? Can you
Yeah.
give us your name, sir?
Jaswinder Sahi.
Okay, so a couple years ago, you applied for an exemption to be open, and I believe that we granted that you could open at 4 AM instead of 5 AM. Is that correct?
I was not aware of that, but we're opening at 5 still. so.
Okay, so that is the, did you not file an exemption?
did.
So you close at what time?
We close at 12,
You close at 12 and you don't reopen till 5?
yes.
But at the time of that exemption, you were very clear that you were going to well, somebody was here saying they were going to fix these items and they were going to allow the police department to install the Affusa system.
Yes,
And I'm aware that we've went there several times, and it seems like the person that we need to talk to is never there. Nobody tells us when they will be there, so we've been unsuccessful in putting that system in.
sure. I can give you my phone number and you can reach out to me. I was not reached, this is the first, you know, that I'm hearing that the police department has approached us. And so you know, feel free to take my number and you can call me and I'll meet you there.
Maybe we can just have
Yes.
Lieutenant Godey and you exchange
Can I
information.
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
My name is Alex Singh, and I'm the person who in charge over there.
Okay.
And your police department was there a couple times when I meet him at the starting when we stopped closing in the midnight. And that time they did install, and I give them all numbers, my technicians, whoever doing the camera system, because I'm not a technician and I don't know too much about that. So I let them talk to them, and whatever they want, I be able to provide them.
Okay.
They have access to the camera, they have access to the technician, they can talk to them. If they don't respond or anything, then I will be the responsible, I can take care of that. But after that, sometime they was there at the store, but it's not like I aware of it because they are sometime off time, you know, some evening or morning, sometime I'm not there. You know, that's what I'd seen a couple times, they left the card there and leave the message. And that's what I thought maybe they have some difficulty because before when they install it, they have a difficulty to communicate it because with the system. So I not really sure where is the glitch is, you know. Second thing is for the graffiti on the pumps, we clean every month. Last year, I spent $100,000 on the pumps, brand new pumps. They just installed today. The next day, the guy and girl came in and put whole pumps with the graffiti with the fill with that. I called the cop. I gave him all the identity for them, gave him all the car information. Nobody took action, but I didn't say nothing. We do clean the pumps every day. I mean, every day, not every day, every week. But there is some graffiti every other times they put it in. We try to clean it as much we can, but we can take care of that.
I want you to, that time that you're talking about that the police department didn't take any action, how long ago was that?
That was not last year, year before.
Okay, so there's no way of, there's no video of that or anything, is that correct?
I might have a videos,
Okay.
but I'm just saying that, it's not like a police department or it's not like we are, because the peoples do that their way. I understand with the signage on the windows, with the price signs, we definitely can remove that because we're not using it.
Okay.
And one last thing is the corner of that property. There is a 10-foot wall over there because inside my property and it's the other side of the street is belong to my space or something. That's what they say, garbage and all that, There was a homeless people. There is a guy homeless people. I put a report too many times with the police too. They've been tired too to explain him. He was so dirty. He comes in the night, stay over there, sleep over there night. I don't allow any of my cashier or anybody to go in the night, go on other side of the wall and say him to move it. Or he do a lot of garbage and all that, But we try to clean it as much we can because we do weekly cleaning. My crew do weekly cleaning.
Where is
grass.
that, where is he staying?
He is staying everywhere.
Behind,
You know about it.
He's walking on the street. He
Behind
can
there.
sit in front of the door. He can sit wherever,
So a couple things, sir. The donation box that's on the property.
Okay,
Do you know
yes.
anything about that?
Sir, I wish I called too many times with the different numbers to remove that box. I don't want that box there. This is so dirty. People put pile of clothes, dirty stuff over there, and it's not looks good. But I don't get any response unless I demolish that and throw away in the garbage. That's a
We're-
different story.
We have no problem with you doing that. I mean, it's your property. If you've
Yeah.
notified them. have
'Cause
you
I
noti-
tried too many
I
times.
would write them a letter. I mean, I can't, obviously I can't give you legal advice, but if the city was involved, we would write the owner a letter. We would say, you have 10 days to remove this, we don't want it here. You're getting notified that we don't want it here. You have 10 days to remove it. If not, we're going to remove it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can take care of that.
Okay, so let's clarify a couple of things. So you can take care of that part.
Yeah.
You don't want the exemption going forward. You're satisfied with closing at 12 and opening at 5?
Yes, we
Okay.
are.
Are you going to be able to make the other cleanup items
Yes, I
that
am
they talked
clean up
about?
whatever we have seen in the pictures. We can
Okay.
do that, and I will talk to the officer to communicate with the camera system.
Please do
so-
that, because
so
that's
they
a
can
great
access.
location. It'll make your business safer. It gives us a lot more coverage in that area. It works out for everybody.
Definitely,
So
sir.
if you could talk to Lieutenant Godey, and we'll set something up with you.
Right.
Okay?
Thank you.
We're good other than that?
I think we're good. I appreciate the owners coming in. It's important to obviously have communication with the owners of the gas station, so that's great. I appreciate them coming in, and I don't think we need to, unless Tom wants to set it for something, I think Tom would bring it up to our attention if there's continued
Other
problems. Yeah.
Okay. Then thank you for coming in, gentlemen.
problem,
And please, Lieutenant Godey will get all the information, and you guys can work that out, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, no action? Okay, okay. Okay, moving on to, sir, go ahead.
Oh, so Mr. Peterson, I think he must have just been a late arrival.
For the
72,
Calumet Avenue one?
yeah.
Yes, I thank the board for hearing the matter. Attorney Jonathan Peterson on behalf of the owner.
Kevin, he wants you guys to switch mics. Jake wants you guys to switch mics, yeah.
Thanks. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble, gentlemen, okay?
I mean, we are, this is a TV show. We have to be in
exactly.
that.
I understand how that
Plus, you were
works.
blocking my camera angle.
Yeah,
It was
I
terrible.
get it.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
So I'm going to report the good news. The litigation is resolved.
That's good.
My client, Norma Herrera, we're in the process of receiving the deed for the property. I have had extensive conversations with Mr. Smith. He has transmitted to me a document, a covenant that would run with the land regarding the single-family usage. I have signatures on that from my client. We did schedule a meeting with the inspector. I have the photos here about the capping of the plumbing and sewer lines, and what's left to be done is I need to follow up with my client. I was under the impression that we had a contractor lined up and we were going to pull a permit. That has not happened yet, but it's in progress. So I anticipate having this done. I would like to have this done in the next 30 days.
I think we set it for
May 22nd?
May 22nd.
Yes.
Is that long enough?
May 22nd.
May 22nd.
I'm going to do everything I can to.
Okay.
Would you, I mean, do you want a little bit more time, a
We
couple
could do
more
the
weeks or
29th.
something?
You want to do the 29th?
Let me see what's
Yep.
on my
And
calendar.
you spoke with Jordan, right? Jordan, you spoke with Mr.
I
Peterson?
did.
Okay, great.
I did. So let me just check my calendar, please. 29. The 29th is good.
Okay,
May
let's
29th?
move it to the 29th.
Very good.
if we could.
I need to
Okay.
rescind that motion.
Yep.
The earlier motion, okay. I'd like to rescind the earlier motion made on 7235 through 41 Calumet. And my motion will now be to set this for status for May 29th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks, John. Thank you. Okay, good seeing you. Yep.
Okay, number 11, late rental registration hearing, letter A, 4749 Hickory.
Good morning, board.
Morning, Julie.
Morning.
Morning. I wasn't sure if I
Yeah,
made it
that's,
here, but
yeah, don't get that wrong. Can you give us your name, please?
yes, it's Maritza Lizama Gomez,
Okay. Can you give us your association of the property?
the owner, yeah.
own it?
of
Okay.
the-
Okay, so tell us what
LLC.
happened in 2024.
So in 2024, we finally got the order to rescind and release order to demolish. And so at the time, towards the end of the year, we finally got it rented out. And so I came this year to register for the rental, but they told me that we might need to charge from last year. I'm not sure, so that's why I'm here.
Okay. What month did you rent it out?
I rented in September.
September, okay.
Property has been owned since 5/7 of '24. The property had a failed inspection on 3/27/24 prior to their ownership. Hasn't missed a rental registration on additional properties if they do own it.
Okay. Yep.
Motion to waive the late fee?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ma'am, if you'd like to stay till after the meeting, you can take a copy downstairs
will.
and pay it.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Thank you
I
very
will,
much for
thank
being
you.
here. Thank you. Okay, moving on to letter B, 4242 Henry. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. Can you give us your name, please?
Bruce A. Dust.
Okay. And can you tell us what happened in 2024, Mr. Dust?
Well, we really don't know. We use the same forms every year. Actually, the bookkeeper keeps them on file. All we do, because I don't get many tenants that move, we white out the name, correct the phone number, and we send in the same forms every year. We got another set already in the file for next year. So how that got overlooked, we don't know. We walked in this year to pay with the same forms. Henry was in there. But when they looked it up, like they do every year, and we know about that, somehow Henry didn't end up on your records.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay.
On the property through the duration, has not missed a rental registration.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fee?
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Dust, same thing. If you want to wait till after the meeting, you'll get a copy of this, and you can pay the $5.
How long will that be, may I ask?
To the end of the meeting.
About 20 minutes, but you have 30 days, right, to do it?
Yeah, you have 30 days to get the rental registration paid for and everything up to date. Other than that, it could be done within 5 minutes after the meeting when you head downstairs to,
I'm in the area, I'll stop back and get that taken care of.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dust.
appreciate it, sir.
Letter C, 4938 Walnut. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Board.
Could you give us your name, please?
Roberto Garcia.
Mr. Garcia, what's your association with the property?
I'm the owner.
Okay, and can you tell us what happened in 2024?
This is my first rental. throughout the purchase process, I was not made aware of the registration situation. A coworker informed me, he's got a rental in Hammond, and he had advised me of the registration, so I came thinking I was within the window for this year, and I was told that I had 30 days after the purchase of the home, which, again, this is my first rental. I wasn't aware of that.
Gotcha.
Okay. Owned since November 26th of '24. When did you have tenants occupying the property? Since
The 1st of December.
1st of December?
Yes.
Okay, you would have still been within that 30-day period and required to register prior to the end of the year. He stated that this is his only property and this first time renting.
Yeah, so a couple things, Mr. Garcia. We're going to waive the late fee because it's your first time being late. Just keep in mind that every year you have from
Every year.
January 1st to April 15th
Okay,
to register.
that was going to be my follow-up
Yep.
question.
January
If it's
1st to April
yearly or-
15th. Yes, you get
Okay.
3.5 months.
Okay.
So just make sure going forward, you set some kind of reminder to take
Absolutely,
care of that.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And I can
Okay.
take care of that today?
Yes, sir. We'll get you a
afterward?
copy right after the meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You too, thank you.
Okay, letter D, 4754 Pine. Looks like there's two of them. Two unit. No, it says one. I don't know why it says two. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you for support.
Can you tell us your name and your association with the property?
Cesar Eduardo Villalobos. I'm the owner.
Okay, tell us what happened in 2024.
Yeah, I had no tenants. It was vacant for the entire year. I was just unaware that I had to do a rental registration. And I was always in and out of the state for training, as well as of last year for recruiting school and being a new full-time active duty soldier. It was just a bit of a transition.
Okay.
Okay. Owner since 2020. You occupy the front portion of the property?
Correct.
Okay, so we'd only be here for one unit at this property for the rear. There were gas and electric reconnects in '24. If that were the case, we'd be able to apply an affidavit for the situation under the board's recommendation.
So if we got an affidavit from him saying it wasn't occupied, then we're good?
Well, so the affidavit would state that there's a active permit, which would have been for the reconnect situation, and they would be exempt from the $5 rental registration.
You understand that part?
I'm sorry, I do not.
So since there was a reconnect going on for the property for your gas and electric, that's an active permit. With an active permit, you are exempt from the rental registration if you have no occupancy.
Okay.
So at that point, it would be filling out the form correctly, submitting it to us for entry, and you would be good for '24.
Okay, sounds good.
Jordan, how do we get him the form?
I can provide you the form down at the office after the meeting.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, motion to waive the late fee.
No,
We're not even gonna apply a late fee, right? We're just gonna do a, okay,
must
so no
complete,
action,
okay.
okay.
Okay, moving on to letter E, 3146 Kenwood. Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you give us your name and association with the property?
My name's Andres Vega. I'm the owner.
Okay, Mr. Vega, can you tell us what happened in '24?
Yes, I purchased a house last year, and I wasn't aware about the registration fees. So I was just learning. This is my learning curve, my first property, so
Gotcha.
just learning it.
Okay, what do you got for us, Jordan?
So you say you purchased it last year, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, our records indicate that the property was purchased 4/25 of '23. It was registered in '23 by the previous owner before the rental registration period. Did you continue to have the tenant occupy the property that was originally there, or did you have somebody else move in?
No, I had somebody else move in.
Somebody else moved in?
Yes,
And
sir.
when did they occupy the property or
I
sign
wanna
the lease agreement?
Say it's a month prior.
A month prior?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would have still been required to submit the 2024 rental registration? Board's recommendation?
First time, sir, so again, we'll remind you, every year you have January 1st to April 15th. Make sure you get it done in those dates in the coming years, and we're going to waive the fee today for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And where we at? Letter F, 7140 Lyman and 940 169th. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Are one of you the owner?
Both of us.
Both of you. Can one of you just give us your name and association with the property?
George Changes, and I'm the owner.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened with both properties in '24?
So we actually, we weren't aware about the registrations, but we bought 7304 Walnut. It's a 3-unit in June of last year, and the gentleman that owned it prior just said, hey, it's a 3-unit, make sure you go register it. So we did so, and then we actually registered these two properties late as well.
Okay.
So
One was purchased on 5/8 of '24, and the other was purchased on 10/26 of '23. Both had active permits, but have not had any inspections called in or finalized any of those permits. Any word on when those will potentially be concluded on, or?
the properties have been renovated for months now, so we would just have to check with our contractor.
Okay, and like I explained previously, with active permits, your ability to fill out an affidavit stating that there's active permits going on during the time. When did occupancy happen for both of the properties?
The 940 was, I believe, in May of last year, and Lyman was towards the end of last year, I would say November or December.
Okay, so you would still be required to fill out a rental registration form due to the fact that there was occupancy with more than 30 days left in the year, up to the board's review for,
The late fees?
yep.
Okay, so we do need them to fill out affidavits for both properties?
No, they would be required to fill out the rental registration forms and then
Gotcha.
be required to have the contractors responsible for the permits call in their final inspections.
Okay, so gentlemen, you guys are new owners, you said that, correct?
That's
You
correct.
probably heard me say that every year you have from January 1st to April 15th. Make sure that you're aware of those dates. Since it's your first time, we're going to waive the late fees today, and you can take the copy of this form downstairs after the meeting if you'd like.
Okay, thank you. We do have two more properties that we've owned for several years,
Okay.
and those are not registered either.
If you can give me the addresses for those two, I can do the review and then determine
set those
what,
for another day.
what action will be taken against them.
One of them is 7507 Jefferson Avenue. And 1509 174th Place.
You mentioned you had a 3-unit on Walnut. Is that registered?
Yes, that's the original registration, and then
That's what prompted you guys
That
to do the
prompted
rest of the
everything else,
rental
yeah.
registrations? Understood.
So we're going to have to unfortunately set those for another day, so your gentlemen will have to come back.
Okay.
Okay?
And while you, when you come down to fill out the rental registration forms for those, I can do a quick check and see if and what action will need to be taken for the other properties, so you have an idea of what's gonna be coming, or if you need to fill out an appeal form for them.
Okay.
Motion to waive the late fee on both properties.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, letter G, 1579 178th Place. Yep. Thank you, sir.
No owner?
No owner.
We'll just move forward.
This property was previously in front of the board for late rental registration hearing September 5th of 2024 for failing to register for 2023. At that point, the 2023 order was waived for the late fees, but never fulfilled for the rental registration period of 2023. So as of right now, this property sits with 2023s unfulfilled and 2024s.
But action was already taken on 23,
Correct.
so the $5 fee, would it be added to it?
They didn't come and pay for 2023 even after it was waived, right?
After it was waived, they did not come in and fill out and complete the rental registration and pay for it.
Are we here for 23 and 24 or just 24?
We're solely here for 2024.
And 25, right?
Well, so this was, the appeal form was filled out prior to the rental registration period of 25, with action already being taken in 23 regarding the property. I was unsure if this needed to go in front of the board for action or needed to be sent to collections for failure to register for the 3 years as of it sits today.
Well, my question, I guess, Jordan, is if they they never paid the 2023 $5, is it too late to then apply the late fee for that year?
We can send it to the collections agency for failure to register, as it is now late for multiple years.
That's what I want to do, yeah.
Okay, motion to send this to Smith Sursick for follow-up.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, oh, sorry. Meeting's now open to the public. Anybody have anything they want to say,
Chris?
other than Chris? Okay, yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.